Hey yo, what is good, y'all? And I am here today with another video game review. One I'm actually very excited for. There's so much nostalgia in this review that I really hope that I can do this game justice, man. So today I'm here to talk to y'all about Mario 64, the re-release on Nintendo Switch in 2020. This is my first time playing this game since I was a kid, and just to give y'all some brief backstory, this is probably the first game that I remember, consciously being invested in as a kid. It wasn't the first game I played. That was probably some other Mario game, maybe Mario on NES or something, maybe even some random PC game or something. I don't know what the very first game I touched was, but when you're first consciously aware that you're playing a game and you have in-game goals for yourself because you're consciously invested in this game. You're playing through it, you want to beat it, you want to see what happens. This is the first game that did that for me, and probably is what I attribute to sparking my current interest in video games. With all that being said, let's hop right into this review. So sticking to my latest format, I got some pros and some cons, and I'm gonna just sit here and casually talk to you about the game a little bit. For those of you that have no idea what Mario 64 is, I have no idea how you don't know that, but it is the Nintendo 64 version of Mario, and it is the first 3D platformer version of Mario, and it is a revolutionary game. I mean, it really is, and this is to the Nintendo Switch more or less a straight port. It is not the 3DS version. Not the 3DS, it's not the DS version. The DS version, people, I think, thought they might do that one because it was the newest version, but that is kind of also its own thing. It has touch controls and stuff like that. So I'm not mad at their decision here to just bring up the game up-resed. Obviously, it's very polygonal, but it looks clean. It's not blurry. The textures aren't fuzzy, which is good. I think that really helps with coming back into it. But I got nostalgia glasses on, so I'm about to just talk about so many good things about this game. I have 4 pros and 1 con about this game, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Level design, timeless. The level design in this game has held up through the ages. I don't have the date offhand when this game first came out, but I promise you the levels still hold up. It is still, to me, one of the most fun 3D platformers I've played. I still love this game from the moment I load into the bottom level. It's amazing. I felt every little bit of happiness that I felt when I was a kid going through these levels. And I think the difficulty curve of the levels is very appropriate along with the pacing. Like, the levels start out very simple. Each level has 6 stars. One of the stars in every level is to find the 8 hidden red coins in the level. You learn about those very early on. And it's just, it puts you in these contained levels, which this game, you can tell now looking back, was obviously definitely the blueprint for Mario Odyssey. And I think they've probably said that before, but this was the blueprint for Mario Odyssey. I actually, when I was playing Mario Odyssey, I still think I prefer this format better. It's a little bit more controlled instead of just putting you in a big open level and just letting you go wherever you want. It kind of tells you, okay, this is your objective when you click on this star to go into this level. This is your objective, and you can optionally find other stars while you're here, but this is your sole focus for right now. You're gonna get in, get this star, get back out, attack the next star. And I really like that type of focus in games and platformers specifically. I like level-based platformers more so than open world-ish platformers, and Odyssey was kind of a hybrid of both. I love Odyssey, don't get me wrong, but I really love the game design and just level design in Mario 64. And by the end, so the way the game is structured, you kind of need these power stars, which, as I said, you get from going into the levels, and you need a certain amount to kind of progress through this Bowser's castle to eventually get to Bowser, who's the final boss. And at the start of the game, you only need a few stars to progress, so you can do like 1 or 2 stars from every level and be fine. But by the end of the game, you need 70 power stars to get through the last door to fight the final boss. So you're kind of scrounging for stars at this point. You're having to go back and do all the challenging stars that you didn't want to do earlier on. And I just think it's really dope. I think it's really good design. It gives you enough freedom, but also forces you into difficult situations to test what you've learned throughout playing the game. And I think that's just, you know, I think that's just really an amazing thing. And then they even have levels later on that I don't even want to spoil, even though it's a super old game, but they have levels towards the end that actually are difficult platforming levels in 3D, and they challenge your platforming skills and they challenge what you know of the game's mechanics. And you know, I think Mario, the 3D Mario games, have amazing platforming mechanics. There's so many different ways you can jump and traverse the levels that I just think it unlocks an unlimited amount of ways that these tools can be tested. And you know, having to use the back jump, the side jump, the long jump, the triple jump, having to do all of these things and with precision in order to succeed in certain levels, like, it just feels so satisfying when you get some of these stars. And I think that's super amazing to see that that type of level design has lasted through the years, that now in 2020 I can go back as an adult when I first played this as a kid and I can say, wow, this game is really still a fun, very fun 3D platformer. And then aside from that, the music and the sounds in this game are timeless. I love the soundtrack. I love that they included the soundtrack separately. This is absolutely my favorite soundtrack out of the 3 games in the All-Star Collection, the 3 games being 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. This is, I think, by far the best soundtrack. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. But I just love the sounds. I love the da-da-da-da-da-da, like the sounds when you enter a level, the sounds when you enter a painting, the sounds Mario makes, his vocal effects, his very few words that he has. I just really love everything about this game. Like, and partially, like I said earlier, that's probably a lot of nostalgia talking. Like, I have super nostalgia goggles on for this game, but it's good that when I go back and play it, it feels like the same game. Like, it doesn't feel like I had rose tinted goggles on remembering the game. It feels like the same game that I played, and it's still just as fun. But that leads me to the cons. Well, the one con and the one thing that I think takes away from the fun of this game, and the one thing that is not timeless and did not hold up through the years, is the camera. My God, the camera is atrocious in this game. And I know it's a result of there not actually being a camera stick back on the Nintendo 64. There was only a D-pad, camera buttons, and a main joystick, a main analog stick that you use to actually control Mario himself. And those camera controls are in full nasty effect in 2020, you know what I mean? Like, the camera is so hard, you're fighting against the camera in most of the levels more so than you are in the level. It's locked on this very fixed turning system, so every time you want to turn the camera, you can only turn it. It's kind of like a, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, imagine your camera being locked to like a hexagon and you can only fix it on 6 points. But at the same time, when you're going through the level, the camera auto rotates itself and there's no way to stop it. And you only really have 2 settings. You have I think it's a Locky 2 setting, which is the little dude on the cloud who follows you around with the camera. He's one camera angle / setting, and then you have Mario as a setting where the camera tends to follow you as a character more. And you really do have to switch between all of the different camera styles to really progress in some of the levels, just because otherwise the camera can be super unwieldy, and it will cause you to die a lot of the times you didn't need to die, and just because the camera wanted to spin out of control or act wonky or not turn a certain way during a jump, you end up dying because your perception of the level is off. And that is one thing that will always be super annoying. But obviously it did not take away from my love of the game. I completed the game in a few days. Not completed, I don't have every star, but I beat the game in a few days, I should say. And I definitely do plan on going back to actually complete the game at some point, because that is something I have never done. So yeah, I can definitely without a doubt recommend this game if you have not played it yet. One of the most important games of all times, and I'm just really glad Nintendo finally decided to bring it up to Switch. Now, if only we can get them to do it with Zelda and Metroid. Please, Nintendo, please bring up those other games. But let me know what y'all thought about the game in the comments. Let me know if y'all love Mario 64 as much as I do. And you know, that's kind of it for this video. Like I said, go play it, go support it, so maybe they'll bring up the Zelda games and stuff. But with all that being said, man, that is really the end of the video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thumbs up and subscribe as always if you enjoyed. For more, And give me some feedback too on this format. Let me know if it's concise enough. Let me know if it does anything for y'all. You know, just let me know, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.
Mamma mia!